I request the deputies, the chairman sir, vice chairman sir, our treasurer sir, our chief guest Mr. Vijay Dubey, and our beloved Mrs. Billimoria to take the chairs here on the dais, please. Please take a chair. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I, Professor Swati Sharma, on behalf of FORE School of Management, welcome you to the R.P. Billimoria Memorial Lecture. It's a privilege to extend a warm welcome to our distinguished chief guest, Mr. Rajiv Dubey, former Group President Mahindra & Mahindra, and our special guest of the event, Mrs. Freni Billimoria, a philanthropist, poet, and a writer. We are also extremely happy to welcome Dr. B.B.L. Madhukar, Chairman of FORE Society and Executive Board Member, FORE School of Management. Dr. Madhukar has vast experience in the field of corporate management. He has been the Chairman and Managing Director of two central government undertakings, MMTC and Micro Trading Corporation, and a board member of several public and private sector companies. Sir is the Chairman of Delhi Flying Club and Director General of BRIC Chamber of Industries and Commerce. Dr. Madhukar has visited over 60 countries in connection with export, trade, and industrial collaborations. He has worked as an expert in international business with the United Nations and completed UN project on trade among SAARC countries. We welcome you, sir. We also have Dr. Vinay Gautam with us. Dr. Vinay Gautam, Vice Chairman, FORE School of Management, is a legend in the field of management thinking and practice. Dr. Gautam is a widely respected thinker and institution builder. He has been a visiting faculty at the universities of Sussex, Brunel, Dominican, etc., and delivered lectures at Cambridge University, University of London, Toronto University, University of York, and Duke University. He is a recipient of 7 Lifetime Achievement Awards, and his contributions have been recognized across 5 continents. Dr. Gautam's work in the area of organizational and human development is widely respected and used in India and abroad. It's an honor to have you, sir. We also have amongst us Mr. Vijay Gopal Pandey. He is the founder member of London School of Economic Society, New Delhi, the founder member of Indian Council of Research and International Economic Relations, and the founder member of FORE Society, among other national and state level institutions. He has over 5 decades of experience in capacity and institution building. His country region specific experience also includes the USA, Canada, and the European Union. Sir is also the esteemed treasurer of the FORE Society. We welcome you, sir. We also extend a heartfelt welcome to Dr. Subir Verma, our director, whose very presence is inspiring. And special welcome to all the board members of FORE Society, FORE School of Management, FIMC participants, my fellow esteemed professors and staff, and dear students. As we begin this momentous event, I request Dr. B.B.L. Madhukar to kindly welcome our chief guest, Mr. Rajiv Dubey, with a floral bouquet. Thank you, sir. This gathering is the reflection of a shared commitment to excellence and progress. To initiate the proceedings of this landmark day with divine blessings, I request the dignitaries on the dais to please light the ceremonial lamp. I now, I now request our Vice Chairman, Dr. Vinay Sheel Gautam sir, to present a bouquet to Miss Billimoria and welcome her. An exceptional institution embodies the vision, values, and dedication of the remarkable leaders who shaped its foundation. We have gathered here to remember and cherish our dear leader, the late Mr. R.P. Billimoria, founder and president of FORE School of Management, New Delhi. He was a dedicated mentor who has inspired generations of professionals. With a career spanning many decades, he pioneered innovative approaches in personnel management, industrial relations, and community development. His numerous awards and honors stand as a testament to his remarkable contributions, cementing his legacy as a trailblazing management expert. I now invite Dr. BBL Madhukar, Chairman, sir, to kindly come forward and share his experiences and learnings with late Mr. Billimoria and shed light on how the values instilled by him have contributed to the growth of FORE School of Management.
Or good evening, everyone. This is a great day when we are honoring and remembering the good work done by Mr. R.P. Billimoria. See, he is no more, but his wife Penny is here, and it has been a very great day that we are celebrating his memories and reminiscences of those golden period when we struggled very hard to establish FORE school management. I am very happy that on this occasion she is present there to listen to us and to understand and appreciate what exactly we meant by starting a management education in this country. So we a few persons, got together. We were all in the public sector, and we tried to build an organization of repute, and we did so. So we have been able to do all this because of the inspiration and support received from Mr. R.P. Billimoria. Mr. Billimoria was a great man himself, having started his career from Steel Authority, the Tata Steel, and then thereafter he was the chairman of Steel Authority of India. He was also the chairman of Indian Airlines. He was also the chairman of Public Enterprises Selection Board, which selected all the directors and chairman of all the public enterprises, central government enterprises in the country. So he was a great man, and his motivation, his encouragement was a great source of support to us that we were able to establish this organization many years ago. That was in 1981. We got it registered as a society, as a not-for-profit organization. So this is the history of the small organization that we created in the line of education, and today it's a very well-known entity, the whole school of management. But we have grown from there to a great extent, and we are now having about 10 different institutions which are associated with FORE school of management. FORE Society, FORE, is FORE Organization of Organizational Research. This is the original name, and which we added education later on. That is how we came FORE as a great name by itself. So therefore, we have we have been able to build several links and what you call uh, verticals of whole society, that it started with the education and research initially, and later on came to be established as a management institution. That was in 1981 when we started our first course on management education, and we started in a small way, but gradually became bigger and bigger. We acquired a small piece of land in the Qutub Institutional area in New Delhi, and thereafter it has been growing in several areas. I'm sorry, kindly forgive my uh, bad health, but anyway, I'm here to say you that the story did not stop there. After we established the whole school of management, which is a very premier management institution in the country, we have got about 70 odd number of regular professors and teachers who are teaching in whole school of management. We also have on the off campus as well, that resides in New Delhi. We have a campus in Noida, sorry, in Gurgaon. We have a campus there. So together we have more than 1,500 students who are now studying in this area of management. Besides besides this PGDM program, which is a postgrad degree in management, we also have the diploma in what you call this. Haha. Yeah. So this is a program which is equivalent to a PhD program for any other university, any university. So that program is also running alongside, and it is also attracting students from all parts of the country. So we have got a large number of students coming from different parts of the country, and we encourage the students coming from northeast and Kashmir and such other places which are far off and which deserve a special attention. Besides all these things, we have got an organization called uh, what do you call Drone Academy. We are teaching and we are educate. You are taking classes for 5 days of classes held in Gurgaon, where in 5 days we create drone pilots. That is an academy which has been established with the help of the government of India and with the permission from government of India. We have established this institution, and this is for training of drone pilots in our country. And we are at this moment out of 64 such centers all over the country. We stand at place number 2 in the country today. So we are doing very good work there, and we also have established another center of drone pilot academy training center in what you call, there's a university. Which one is that? Bahadurgarh. Hanumangarh. Hanumangarh. And university is also taking the help from our institution and then training also the drone pilots. Now, drone, as you know, is spreading in many areas, and it's very important element for disaster management and for also all kinds of land surveys and land farming and all other activities which are associated with drone. So we have established that institution as well, and which is growing and doing better. Now, at this, besides all this, we also have whole school of management, another whole school of management that is for undergraduate programs like BBA, BCA, BCom. Such disciplines are also being taught in Gurgaon campus. There's another campus for undergraduate education. So that has also grown, and over a period of time, now it is our third year that we are having the students studying studying all kinds of management as well as non-management courses also, which are absolutely required, and in the affiliation from Gurgaon State University. Besides this, we also have a scheme which is for greening India. This scheme is supposed to plant trees along the highways and all other places which are available to the country, because this is a part of forest, so part of agroforestry. It's a kind of agroforestry that we are trying to establish, and Mr. The Dr. Jitendra uh, Das, Director General of FORE, School of Management, FORE, is looking after this particular area, greening, and as you know, this is a value of life that at this moment the country or the country and the continent needs such an initiative. So he's taking that kind of initiative, and it's a great effort that is being done in this line. We congratulate him and wish him all the best to do in this line, in this area. Besides this, we also have, so we are going to set up, we are on the line of setting up a special academy for Academy of Aviation, Space, and Tourism. This is yet another vertical of FORE, which is going to come up in a place near Jewar Airport. We have acquired a piece of land there, about 5 acres of land has been acquired. Boundary wall has been done. Now the construction of the place will be done in due course. In due course. Thereafter, we have a whole academy. We also have whole innovation center, which is headed by Mr. Dr. Arunadita Sahai, who is a distinguished professor of management employed with us for school of management. Besides this, now we are going to set up very soon a FORE Center for Political Leadership and 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 uh, and governance. FORE Institute of Political Leadership and Governance. This is the idea is to educate more of women in the political line, in the political arena, because with the reservation for women in assemblies and parliament, for 33% of the seats are reserved for them. Then at the same time, in local self government, Jira Parishad and Panchayats also have about 50% posts are reserved for women aspirants. So this is an area which is needed also a kind of training, political training, so that they are aware of the various laws relating to their life and what you call enjoying the citizenship of a country. So they must be made to learn about working of parliament, working of high courts and supreme court, and the working of the executive. Yeah, this is called judiciary. Sorry, bureaucracy. Bureaucracy, judiciary, and legislature. These are the three wings of a government. So these are the areas that need to be educated, need to be trained. So therefore, we are also, besides this, we are going to create two more institutions that will be FORE University, for which we have the land, we have the resources, and we have got the CLU done, and we are going to set up this university in about a year's time. Hopefully, in a year's time, it should be set up and should start functioning. The FORE University will also come up. Another institution which will come up again in the same area will be FORE International School. So that will be school for higher secondary, higher education, higher secondary education. Though that area will be taught in that school also. So that also will come up in Manasar to begin with, because we have that plan that we are going to start both the university as well as the college at this place, so that we have a pipeline kind of thing where we educate the students at the school level, and thereafter those students can be also admitted at the college level at both at undergraduate as well as postgraduate. So all this is possible. So all this all together, you will see that core is not just one entity, but it is many pillars of this organization, and together they make a small what you call. I'm sure that the core has become an entity which is well known now and is spreading its wings in all parts of the country as well as even abroad. We have got association with number of universities, overseas universities. We have got those linkages with those universities. Our students and professors are visiting those colleges abroad as well as so that they learn about the various methodologies and what you call the pedagogies of those places also. So with these words, I would only like to close the talk regarding how FORE has grown that way, and it has been the credit has should be go to the founder of FORE School, FORE Society, Mr. Billimoria. So therefore, we bow down with great respect and adherence to the memories of great man, Mr. Lucy, Mr. Uh, Billimoria, and I would now request Mrs. Billimoria to share a few thoughts regarding this organization, which has been created with the effort of many of us who are here. Some are present, some are not present at all. So therefore, we will request her to highlight some of those efforts that we made together, of which she is a witness and understood and knew every player of this line. So thank you, Mrs. We invite Mrs. Victoria to have a word, have a great good word. Please, Miss. Mrs. Billimoria. Please give a big applause for her. Big applause for the audience. Big applause so that we are able to hear her words, how many people have cooperated. And yeah, sure. So we must introduce the man, before we start speaking. Just a minute, one or 2 minutes more. Yeah, please do. Please do, sir. Let's do that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing the contributions of late R.P. Billimoria, sir, that has helped FORE to achieve great heights. The values and vision you have shared will undoubtedly influence and empower us in moving forward. Now, let's meet the incredible woman behind the legendary R.P. Billimoria. Mrs. Freni Billimoria, his wife, a true partner and the backbone of his success. Throughout his illustrious career, she has been a constant source of support and strength. Her remarkable contributions to social work, art, and writing are a source of inspiration for those around her. A woman of immense talent and compassion, she has served as the president of the Bihar Women's Welfare Organization, vice president of All India Women's Conference, and member of Social Welfare Board, Bihar. Her artistic expression shines through her pottery, paintings, and writings, each a reflection of a vibrant persona. We are deeply honored to have you with us today, ma'am. And we request you to address the cabinet. Yeah, thank you. Sure, ma'am. Absolutely.
Thank you for your generous introduction. Mr. Madurga, members of the faculty of FORE, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today, as we commemorate the life and legacy of Mr. R.P. Billimoria, called Mr. B amongst friends, I have been asked to say a few words on Mr. B by Mr. Madurga on husband and father. It all began in the year 1959 when I was 24 years old, a trainee in an American firm of J. Walter Thompson in Calcutta. I was told to write the story of Tata Steel and interview one Mr. R.P. Billimoria, Director of Personnel. When he got the request, he said, "Over my dead body. No one is going to come, little journalist not knowing anything about steel, and write about Tata Steel." I reached Jamshedpur, walked into his secretary's office, and I requested to meet his boss for 10 minutes. I was ushered into his office. Sitting behind a huge desk was a jovial, cheerful man, a little too plump, who heard my project and made a list of the people I should meet. Then he said, "Wait a minute. I think I will take you around myself." "No," I said. "Your time is too precious." He insisted. Little did I know that those 10 minutes would stretch into 60 years of my life. The story rolls on. We became friends. I thought when a man courts a woman, he sends flowers and chocolates, maybe takes her to a picnic or a movie. But Mr. B had different ideas. The first meeting he took me to was between the trade union leaders and the management. The steel executives, suited and booted, seated against the union leaders who casually dressed in kurta pajama. Then it started mildly, but soon grew in momentum. Accusations were hurled, arguments, raised voices, much like the football match of Mohun Bagan in Calcutta, where the poor referee who runs for shelter behind an ambulance as soon as the meeting is over. Mr. B's passion in life was to be a musician. When he got the Nuffield Fellow in UK, The maestro, Gili, had come to hold an audition. Mr. B went. He sang O Sole Mio. Young man, said Gili, where do you come from? Mr. B said, from India. And whom do you work for? Mr. B said, Tata. He said, who's Tata? Leave them and come to me. I will make you a world famous bass baritone opera singer. Mr. B, excited, phoned his mother. I met Gili, he said. His mother said, who's Gili? He said he offered me training to become a fabulous bass baritone opera singer. Mother said, take the first ticket and come back to Jamshedpur. Leave Tata to become a singer. That was the end of Mr. B's singing career. His singing career was aborted before it began. We got married in 1960 and was blessed with a daughter in 1962. Then Dr. Spock, the American pediatrician who wrote the bestseller book on how to raise children, came to our rescue. And thanks to Mr. Spock, we managed. Mr. B had read the book and by-hearted it to such an extent that in the middle of the night, when the girl would get up, Mr. B would say, quickly, chapter 3, paragraph 2. Read that. He often lectured in the Xavier Labour Institute. We enjoyed much. Then came the big bang. We left Tatars and joined Hindustan Steel. No one could believe it that we had left the house of Tatars to go to Ranchi. In fact, in those days, Ranchi was known for a medical assignment center. So when my mother told everyone that we were going to Ranchi, they said very sorrily, why, what's the problem? They said, no problem, it's through choice. Jamshedpur, everything worked. Ranchi, nothing did. Jamshedpur was very civilized. Ranchi was not. Both towns in Bihar, Jamshedpur and Ranchi, but different management. Ranchi was in slow motion, but very good for the children. I indulged in my ceramics. Mr. B gave me my space in art and social work. He was very indulgent and empathetic. We moved to Delhi. Life changed. Almost as if he had an infection of becoming director and chairman, he became director of 28 companies and chairman of 29 companies. Which was a little bit ridiculous. FORE was started. The only saving grace was Swami Parmanand, who came into our life and taught meditation and helped to change our values. Looking back, others' intelligence is knowledge, but knowing yourself is true wisdom. Life is not measured by the breath we take, but by the movements that our breath takes away. Everyone may not be good, but there is something good in everyone. Never judge anyone shortly, because every saint has a past and every sinner a future. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your journey with late Mr. Billimoria. I really feel proud to be a part of FORE, an organization that has been built with such solid foundations and with people, with stellar people like Mr. Billimoria. Thank you so much. Now I'm honored to invite Mr. Vijay Gopal Pandey, the esteemed treasurer of FORE Society, to deliver his address.
Good evening and welcome to the members on the dais, to the FORE faculty and the staff, and to students. I'm really honored to have been given this opportunity to speak about Mr. Rusi P. Billimoria, who has influenced my early years in very substantive ways. To commemorate his memory, I will begin by highlighting a couple of events and couple of facts which will tell you what an inspiring personality he was. You may know, perhaps, or may not, that he began his career as a worker on the shop floor of Tata Steel, then known as Tata Iron and Steel Company Limited. And then from there, through sheer hard work, without any godfather, he went on to become the second chairman of the Steel Authority of India Limited, and subsequently he became the chairman of at least 29 companies, as Mrs. Freddie Billimoria just cited. So in many ways, his story, his journey is as inspiring as that of our late President Abdul Kalam, and to be more inspiring. Why? Because he contributed to society in very substantive ways and in very meaningful ways. And one reason why he did that was that he was a savant. He read voraciously, he had a good command on the subject that he chose to speak on or work on, and he always was looking for knowledge application. He was not only a voracious reader with a great and deep thirst for knowledge, but he was equally interested, and in many ways more interested, in applying that knowledge to real life situations. For example, if you go to the story of FORE society, one of the reasons which predicated Mr. Billimoria to get into this venture was his strong belief that there must be a strong interaction and interface between the academia and industry. Because he strongly believed that it is industry which is going to bring about the massive industrial growth. And for that, if the management and if the personnel in a company involved are not really familiar with what the challenges are, and if those challenges are not solved through academic research and research per se, then there would be very little progress. So this was one of the founding reasons, for establishing the FORE society, and this has now flourished and really expanded in several ways, as illustrated by the chairman, Dr. Madhukar, a little while ago. The other quality which I would like to highlight of Mr. Billimoria was his a strong desire to share his wisdom and knowledge to others and with others. And he did that by mentoring young people. And to let you know, I'm one of the persons that he mentored. This he did before I was going on to the London School of Economics. I went to him, saw him, and there used to be kind of a regular meetings for about an hour every week, where he told me many fundamental truths about how to pursue a course in a university. He taught me how to do and what to do in social situations and social circumstances while living abroad. And all these teachings really bore their results very well. And again, when I came back, he was there to help me and guide me in many ways. The other attribute which Mr. Billimoria had was that of providing help and assistance to anybody who required his help and support. And here again, I can illustrate this by my own personal example. Just about 3 months old in my job as the deputy head of the FORE Foundation in New Delhi, I was faced with a situation of a strike. I had about 275 people going on the strike, demonstrating outside my office, and I was just in my mid 30s, and I was not prepared for that. And I really got very worried, and I scratched my head. I said, what the hell to do? So the first thought that came to my mind, of course, was to ring up Mr. Billimoria. And I called him and told him that this is what the situation is. What should I do? So I said, first of all, do two things and then come and see me. So I said, what? He said, first, ask the leader of the demonstration to come and see you. Meet him, listen to his demands, don't make any commitments, give him assurances, and tell him that you'll be back within a day or two. So after that, I went back to my room, went to his office, and then he told me that, look, I mean, this is not a situation, but I will help you to solve it. And he said, what? He said that, well, first of all, follow the advice I've given you. And most important, I'm going to use my network. So he was very well networked, with all the trade unions, in the country. And likewise, he was very well networked, with the Delhi branch of Inter. And then he made a call to the president of Inter and said that he has a young friend who is in trouble and he must see him. So I went and saw him, saw the Inter chairman, and he gave me advice. He said, okay, very fine, don't worry. We'll solve the problem in 2 days. He said that what you do is, whatever offer you have made, to the people who are being separated, just give them 5% more increase and solve the problem there. I said, fine, no problem. So I go back. Next day, I meet the leader again, and I tell him that, look, we'll settle the matter for 5% increase in whatever we have given you. And the separation amount given, granted by the foundation was 3 months of salary, for each employee, which amounted, to fairly large sums in those days. And that's how the matter was settled. So in this way, I will say that Mr. Billimoria was a true friend, philosopher, and guide. I've experienced this myself, and so have many others. And it's really a great, great fortune for me that I was able to understand, his method of work, his style of work, his perceptions, his thoughts about how an organization should be run and how I should run my own life. And for that, I shall ever remain grateful. And today, I must say that given the way the FORE Society has expanded its activities from one vertical to several other new verticals, as enunciated by the chairman, I think Mr. Rushi Bulmoria would have been a very, very happy person today. And with these words, I would like to end my remark. There are many more things I could say, but time is short. Maybe on some other occasion. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing the inspiring achievements of late Mr. Billimoria. He will remain a constant source of inspiration, and his memories will be treasured forever. A great leader's words have the power to guide, inspire, and transform. Today, we are honored to have a great leader, Mr. Rajiv Dubey, as a distinguished chief guest of the evening. Mr. Dubey has recently retired from the chairmanship of three Mahindra companies and from the governing body of the International Labour Organization, Geneva, where he was the employer's vice president for the Asia region. He served on the boards of several group companies, including Mahindra Retail and SsangYong Motors Korea. He was chairman of the Group CSR Council, member of the Governing Council of the Mahindra Institute of Quality, and the advisory board of Bristlecone, USA. He joined Mahindra and Mahindra Limited in January 2004 as an executive vice president and member of the group management board after a career spanning 29 years in Tata Group, where he joined in 1975 as a member of the TAS, the Central Managerial Cadre of the Tata Group. He spent 21 years with Tata Steel and the next 7 years as managing director and CEO, first of Tata Metallics and then of Rallis India. Sir has had a distinguished academic background. He studied economics at St. Stephen's College, Delhi, where he was ranked first in the university at the Delhi and at the Delhi School of Economics, where he received a national scholarship. He went on to do his MBA from Yale School of Management, USA, as a J.N. Tata Scholar and was selected as a distinguished alumnus of the school. He is a professional certified coach of the International Coaching Federation and holds a certificate in group dynamics at the board level from the Tavistock Institute, London. He is a respectable board member of FORE Society, Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, New Delhi, and XISS Ranchi. He is a member of the Council of Global Advisors of Yale School of Management, Advisory Board of SOIL of Inspired Leadership, New Delhi, the Strategic Mentoring Board of Manav Rachna Educational Institutions and IILM Business School, New Delhi. He also serves on the board of the Magic Bus Foundation and Indian Council of Global Relations. On a personal note, Mr. Dubey was intensely involved in theatre, having acted in TV and radio plays. He was secretary of the Dramatic Society at St. Stephen's College and founder member of Theatre Action Group, one of the erstwhile leading theatre companies in Delhi. Mr. Rajiv practices yoga and Reiki regularly, and his interests include past life experiences and fire walking. He is an avid lover of books and nature. We are delighted to have you, sir, and request you to kindly address the gathering.
I don't want you. I'm not going to use the slides that I had because we have a shortage of time and I want to respect that. So maybe we'll just keep that one slide on and I'll speak from memory. So first, I am privileged, honored, and truly humbled to be standing here in front of you. In fact, so humbled as to be rendered almost speechless, but I have to speak. So I take courage from the German poet Wolfgang Goethe, who would have told me, "Do not be so humble, dear sir. After all, you're not that great." So, taking courage from that, most humbly and respectfully, I'll spend the next 15 or 17 minutes talking to you about creating tomorrow's leaders. But before I plunge into the raging tiber, I want to pay my own personal tribute and respect to the late Mr. Billimoria. He was already a shining star even before I was a struggling assistant bottle washer in Tata Steel. But I had the privilege of meeting him several times, especially after he retired. So I pay my tribute to him. So the brave new world in which tomorrow's leaders have to operate may be characterized by three sets of factors. The first is VUCA, or some people call it BANI. Basically, there is a lot of uncertainty and volatility. The second is a pushback by all stakeholders. and I'm keeping it really short. I could expand on each one of these, but I won't. And the third is interconnectedness. So, in this new normal, what is it that happens to the changing forces of supply and demand that impact both firms at a micro level and the economy as a whole, and in which tomorrow's leaders have to operate? In short, both supply and demand are changing, and it requires, therefore, proactive and iterative decision making right through the value chain, which in turn means people need to have a very, very deep knowledge of stakeholder needs, which in turn implies the need for distributed leadership. Now, how do you create distributed leadership? You create any behavior or any performance by the play between purpose, strategy, and what is called culture. For the purpose of this very short presentation on tomorrow's leaders, I will not talk about strategy, not because it is not important. Of course, it's critical, necessary. You can't do anything without it. But in 17 minutes, I cannot boil the ocean, so I will not talk about strategy. Let me focus largely on purpose and behavior. So, on purpose, let me say that that is the starting point. If we had to choose one starting point which the leader needs to be totally clear about, which he or she needs to internalize and then spread right through the organization, it is the purpose. Why do we exist? Why do we come to work every morning? What will the world miss if we are not here? One could go on and on and on. But this purpose, which normally should be a higher order purpose, is what keeps us going through the ups and downs of life and of corporate life. So it is most necessary for tomorrow's leaders to be rooted in purpose. Let me move now to the second part, which is the bulk of my presentation today, which is about the mindset and the behavior of tomorrow's leaders. Very enigmatically, I have said creating tomorrow's leaders, the 3 plus 5. Let me demystify. The 3 are mindsets or attitudes that tomorrow's leaders need to have if we are going to create sustained outperformance in the new normal. And the new normal is VUCA stroke Bani plus pushback plus interconnectedness, and it requires distributed leadership. The first mindset is accept no limits. Keep on pushing the envelope. There is vast untapped potential in every situation and in every person and in every ecosystem that the leader has to deal with. So accept no limits. The second one is alternative thinking, because innovation is going to be a mantra and innovation requires alternative thinking. And the third mindset, even as the leader accepts no limits and does alternative thinking, is to drive positive change in the lives of the shareholders and communities in which we operate. So, 3 mindsets: accept no limits, do alternative thinking, above all, ensure that you are driving positive change both within the organization and in the ecosystem in which you operate. Now, these are 30,000 feet words. How do you bring them to life? There are 2 things that bring them to life. One is a technical answer. It is the HR levers, right? So any organization brings purpose and strategy to life through the HR levers. I won't go into that. HR levers are things like the recruitment process, the induction process, the reward and recognitions, the performance management system, the talent development, and above all, communications. I will not go into that except to say that if we are to make the 3 attitudes, accept no limits, do alternative thinking, and drive positive change, if we have to bring them to life, we have to make sure that all the HR levers are aligned to these three central pillars. Now, what people experience is not pillars or levers, they experience behavior. So the five here on the screen refers to the five behaviors that I believe tomorrow's leaders need to live and display in their everyday lives. The first one is to use the whole mind in any situation. So you combine the so-called left brain, which is the brain of intellect, logic, and rationality, with the so-called right brain, which is empathy, intuition, understanding, imagination, innovation. So tomorrow's leaders need to combine seamlessly and effortlessly in any situation the left and the right brain to use the whole mind. And that is the only way in which they will be able to come up with rich solutions to the problems that they confront. The second behavior is to be a multiplier. A multiplier of what? Of energy, of passion, of engagement, of creating a sense of ownership. How do you create that? The opposite of a multiplier is the extreme command and control type. These people are diminishers. These are people who are obsessed with the need to show, I am the best. I have all the answers. You do what I tell you. In the new normal, my belief is that such leaders would be total disaster. So then, what are multipliers? Multipliers are people who are every bit as smart and as well informed as the command and control types, but they listen. They listen to the voice of the customer, the voice of the employee, the voice of the supply chain, the voice of competition, the voice of the winds of technological change. They listen to these voices. They don't pretend to have all the answers, but they focus on asking the right question. And then they co-create the answers with their cohorts. Far from wanting to show, I am the best, such leaders get joy in seeing 1,000 flowers bloom, with apologies to Chairman Mao. The third behavior is to manage fear and leverage failure. Innovation, I said, is the key. Accept no limits, do alternative thinking. You cannot have innovation unless you take risk, unless you experiment. By definition, when you take risk, at least 50% of the time, there will be failure. The biggest obstacle to taking risk is the fear of failure. So we need leaders who, far from instilling fear, which is one model, it is a model that I grew up in, by the way, for many years, such leaders help their people to overcome their fear of failure so that they can take risk and experiment. And then what matters is not that we failed, but what we did after we failed. Did we use our learnings from failure to create the stepping stones to success? And this, of course, is a new model of innovation. Try, fail if you have to, but fail fast and cheap. Have quick feedback loops and try again. And keep repeating this till you achieve success. I presume most of you would have heard of Harry Potter and the lady who wrote Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling. I want your permission for a small quote from J.K. Rowling's Harvard commencement address in 2009. If you know it by heart, please forgive me for carrying cold to, I can't say Newcastle, to Jharia or Dhanbad. Here is the quote. I can hardly read because there's not much light, so I have to turn it around. Here's the quote. It is impossible to live without failing at something unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default. The knowledge that you will emerge wiser and stronger from setbacks, that you will never truly know yourself or the strength of your relationships until both have been tested by adversity. Such knowledge is a true gift, and even though painfully acquired, it has been worth more to me than any qualification I ever earned. Unquote. I come now to the fourth behavior. I call it mindfulness. My friend Professor Sudhir Verma is groaning, oh my God, Dadiwala is getting out of control. Mr. Dubey, if you want to talk about mindfulness, kindly go into a cave in the Himalayas and look at the walls and be as mindful as you want. This is a business school. Dhande ka baat karo. So I just want to say that when I talk of mindfulness, I mean being open to all the possibilities that exist in the moment and not being a prisoner of my own past, where I am unable to see what is happening in the present. Because it is only when I'm aware of the possibilities that exist in the moment and in the present that I get the inputs, the questions on which basis I can create innovation. So it is very important for tomorrow's leaders to be open to all the possibilities that exist in any moment, which in turn requires them to be present in the here and now. I want your permission for a quote. Look well to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. In its short course lie all the realities and verities of existence. The splendor of action, the glory of achievement, the sorrow of loss and separation, the joy of giving. For yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow only a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day. Such is my salutation to the dawn. That's Kalidas for you, a good exposition of here and now. I move now to the last, but not the least, of leadership behaviors, and that is trust. If a leader does everything else but is not able to create trust in the organization, where people trust the leader and the leader in turn trusts his or her people. How do you create trust? Well, you certainly need some competence, some technical competence, but more than that, you need authenticity and you need to be fair. What is authenticity? For me, authenticity means I say what I think and I do what I say. So, thinking, saying, and doing is aligned again and again and again. It is about walking the talk, it is about removing the mask and having the courage to be who I am with my strengths and equally with my weaknesses. So, to summarize, and I'm coming towards the end, I hope I've not exceeded my 20 minutes. I don't have a watch here. The new normal requires leaders who can create distributed leadership. And this distributed leadership requires a very strong sense of purpose. And it requires three mindsets: accept no limits, do alternative thinking, above all, drive positive change. And these three mindsets or attitudes are brought to life by 5 behaviors: using the whole mind, being a multiplier, knowing how to manage fear and leverage failure, being mindful, and above all, creating trust. I'm coming towards the end, so I will skip a lot of other stuff that I had to say and go straight to one urge. I urge tomorrow's leaders never to deviate from the path of Satya, Prem, and Seva. Even as you lead by purpose, even as you live the 3 and you perform the 5 in your everyday life, if leaders tomorrow deviate from the path of truth, that is Satya, brain, which is compassion, the ability to put myself into the shoes of the other person, and above all, seva, a sense of service. Now, these are not merely philosophical or poetic words. I can create a very strong business case for truth, compassion, and service, but I don't have the time. So I seek your permission for one last quote. Subir, I promise you it is actually the last quote. And here it goes. This is called the Rise Manifesto. It's not as famous yet as the Communist Manifesto, but it inspired many of us in the Mahindras, and therefore I'm taking the liberty to read it out. Today is another perfect day to defy the world's naysayers. Today we will think bigger than our size. Today we will refuse to accept limitations. Today we will not be held back by the past. Today we will focus on the future and never ever blink. Today we will break down another barrier, scoff at another convention, and use alternative thinking to solve another previously unsolvable problem. Today we will accomplish something astounding and in the process change someone's life for the better. Today, we will set an example for the world with boldness, with confidence, with relentless optimism. Good morning. Today is another perfect day to rise. And I come now to the most important part of my presentation. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to me.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing that beautiful 3+5 model of future leaders. If I think we internalize that, it is like the best leadership course or management course that one could ever get. Thank you for sharing this lovely model and your wise words with us. Thank you so much, sir. Uh, right. Now, today, we've gathered here to talk about our leader who was far ahead of his times, uh, late Mr. R.P. Billimoria. And now we pay tribute to his remarkable achievements, prestigious awards, and invaluable contributions to building institutions and acknowledging his enduring legacy as a visionary leader. Our efforts aim to highlight a small portion of his enduring legacy through this short video, which we'll be playing for you.
The life of Mr. Ravi Billimoria was well spent, devoted and full of innovations and service. An innovative thinker, a teacher, and a welfare activist, he transformed the lives of many, from serving as the chairman of Public Enterprises Selection Board to pioneering workers' participation initiatives at Tata Steel and demonstrating exceptional leadership at the Steel Authority of India Limited and Indian Airlines. He changed industries. He was a great and passionate teacher, training the young minds of Delhi University and FORE School of Management. His work did not only encompass corporate management but also international platforms, where he called for peace and togetherness, hence the theme of harmony and progress. As an educator, he planted seeds of wisdom in institutions like Delhi University, XLRI, TISS, and FORE School of Management. At FORE, his vision of integrating education with industry needs became the foundation for leadership and excellence, inspiring future leaders. What began as a thought has now grown into many branches of FORE and FORE International School. Mr. Billimoria not only changed the lives of individuals but also shaped the destiny of organizations and communities. His legacy, rooted in values of vision, empathy, and unity, continues to guide us. A visionary who turned seeds of thought into forests of impact.
the selfless spirit, profound wisdom, and invaluable guidance of late Mr. R.P. Billimoria will continue to remain a constant source of inspiration, and his memory will be cherished forever. I request Dr. B.B.L. Madhukar to kindly felicitate our chief guest, Mr. Rajiv Dubey, by presenting him with a memento as a token of our appreciation and respect. I request Mr. Vijay Gopal Pandey, Treasurer FSM, to kindly felicitate Ms. Frenny Billimoria with a memento. For-
फिर घुस गए आगे बोला नहीं था क्या
Now, we are pleased to invite Dr. Vinayshil Gautam, Vice Chairman FORE, to kindly present the closing address and extend the vote of thanks.
Respected Mr. Chairman, Vijay, Rajiv, and of course, Frenny, Sudhir, Kamal. On an evening like this, it's very difficult to make an address, even more difficult to propose a vote of thanks, because I have never felt that Billimoria Saab has gone away. Mr. Billimoria has been a presence in the lives of so many people that to be counted in that limited list is a matter of honor. Let me tell you what many of you may not know. The Indian Institute of Technology got its Department of Management Studies under the expert committee chairmanship of Mr. Billimoria. It was a historic event. Madhukar Saab was a member of that committee. He will remember it with pride and a sense of satisfaction. When I look back, the setting up of the Department of Management Studies was a major landmark. Mr. Billimoria is still with us. हजारों साल नरगिस अपने बेनूरी पर रोती है, बड़े मुश्किल से होता है शादी दाबार पैसा. बिलमोरिया साहब की आरती भी जब भी उतारी जाए कम पड़ेगी, उनकी शख्सियत ही कुछ ऐसी थी. फ्रेनी के बारे में कई चीजें कही गई. किसी औचक के भाव से मैंने कहा, ये तो मेरी भौजाई हैं, और कई रूपों में इनको देखा। जो लोग इनके बारे में नहीं जानते हैं वो ये है कि ये ट्रेनर भी पार एक्सेलेंस हैं और एक टेम्पररी ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम देती हैं। मेरे प्रोग्राम में इन्होंने कंट्रीब्यूट किया। बात रही राजीव दुबे की, तो कहाँ शुरू करें कहाँ खत्म करें। पिछले 60 साल का इतिहास हमें बांधे है। राजीव को कई रूपों में देखा, वो बता करके आई डोंट वांट टू वॉक ऑन स्टिल्ट्स, बट राजीव, एवरी टाइम आई हियर यू, एवरी टाइम आई मीट यू, you only grow better. May it continue that way. बात रही विजय भाई की, तो इतने रूपों से उनके तार जुड़े हैं। अच्छा, बुरा, मध्यम कोटि का, कहने के लिए शब्द नहीं है, लेकिन विजय भाई मेरी जिंदगी में है। इससे ज्यादा कहने को कुछ नहीं। इसका प्रमाण वो खुद हैं। किसी औचक के क्षण में इसके बारे में वो कुछ कहना भी पसंद करेंगे। बात रही चेयरमैन साहब की, तो दसियों बार कुछ कहा है, दसियों बार कुछ सुना है, और धीरे धीरे मैं कोशिश करता हूं कि सुनूं ज्यादा, कहूं कम। आप लोग आए, शाम कृतार्थ हुई। सुबीर जी ने एक अंतर्राष्ट्रीय संगोष्ठी का आयोजन किया है, उनके लिए सहज है, लेकिन आप सबकी उपस्थिति बताती है कि जब सुबीर जी हाथ उठाते हैं तो लोग यूं ही दौड़े चले आते हैं। बहुत कुछ कहा गया, बहुत कुछ सुना गया। ये दास्तां तो चलती रहेगी, क्योंकि जैसा चेयरमैन साहब ने फोर में किया है, कई पौधे लगाए हैं, 11 पौधे, एक पूरी टीम ही है, साथ चल रही है। हम लोग फिर मिलेंगे। अभी तो तत्काल आपको प्रतीक्षा होगी भोजन की, और भोजन के बीच में किसी के लिए अवरोध हो जाना शुभ लक्षण तो नहीं है। आप आए, इसके लिए मैं कृतार्थ हूं, और मेरी जिम्मेदारी है कि सबके तरफ से आपसे कहूं नमस्कार, अच्छा हुआ आप आ गए, साथ बने रहिएगा।
Thank you, sir. Your presence and words of wisdom have truly enriched our learning experience, and we are grateful for your continued support and encouragement. As we bring this program to a close, let us carry forward the insights and inspirations we have gained today. On behalf of FSM and FIMC, I thank you for your gracious presence and request all the guests to proceed for dinner. I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.